Now let us look at the next concept, that is tables. I have already given you one example over here, creating tables in Writer. It's very easy to create tables in Writer. Tables are basically used for organizing the data in a proper way. So if you want to create a table, say for example, your timetable you want to create, you will be able to do it with the help of the tables. If you want to create a table of students record, you can use the tables just like the previous one I've used over here. Now let's learn how to create a table. For creating table, you just have to go to insert and click on table. This is one way. The other way is you can press Ctrl and F12, the shortcut key. So I'm just going to click on this table and insert the table. It will ask you to give the name for the table. Now you decide what name you want to give for this particular table. If you just leave it as table 2, no problem. How many columns and how many rows do you want in the table? Now what is columns and rows? If you look at the above table, you will find that it has got role. Role is one of the column. Name is another column. English is another column. Math is another column. And science is one more column. The vertical lines are called as the columns and the horizontal lines are called as the rows. So roll number 1, Anshul, marks of English, marks of maths and marks of science, that is considered as one row. So this is called as a row and this is called as a column. How many rows and how many columns do you want in your table? You need to decide that. Suppose you want to create a table with 3 columns and 2 rows. You just select 3 columns, 2 rows, and then click on OK. Before clicking on OK, you have got a facility of selecting auto format. Auto format gives you the facility of formatting your table with some predefined formats which are available. So you have got none over here. That means no formatting at all. Default, where you have got some kind of formatting, change of color for header and the other lines and all those things. Some background color. In the same way, you're going to have the other formats which are available. So you can just go through these formats and decide which format you would like to apply on your table. Suppose you don't want any of these formats. You want to have your own format. You can decide that and create your own format. So right now, I'll just keep it as none or I just cancel it. I don't want any formatting. And I click on OK. So you will find that the table has been created for me. Now, whatever you want to give over here, suppose this is bill number. It's a sales table. So bill number, item name, and price. Bill number is B001. Item is pencil. Price is 5 rupees. Like this, I can record all my details. But in a sales table, you're not going to have just one record. What about the other records? What about the other sales? So I want to record the sales of the other items. How do I have more rows over here? One simple way is that if you're going to go on the, see, if you're on this particular column, the first column over here, the first row, first column, and you want to go to the next column, you just have to press the tab key. So when you press the tab key, it takes you to the next cell, the next column, next cell. And I keep pressing the tab. I press the tab, it takes me to the next cell. I press the tab, it takes me to the next cell. Then I press the tab and I go to the next cell. Now, I want one more row, but there is no more row over here. There are no more cells. What will happen if I press the tab key? If I press the tab key, it automatically understands that I want one more row to be inserted over here. And a blank row is automatically inserted. So if you're going to keep your cursor on the last cell and press the tab key, a new row is automatically inserted for you. and you can enter the details of the next item over here. Press the tab key and a new row is inserted. So this was one aspect of it, creating the table, managing the rows and columns, and inserting new rows. What if I want to insert one new row before this, or one new row between B002 and B003? If I'm going to press the tab key will always insert a new row at the end on the next line, right? It will be a new line. But I want this to be between B002 and B003. So just keep your cursor on any of this, the entire row on any of the cells, and you will find that you have this tables floated over here, the toolbar being floated over here. This tables toolbar will help you in inserting a new row. You have two buttons over here, insert rows and insert columns, the green ones. So if you're going to click on insert rows, this is going to insert a new row for you. Similarly, if you keep your cursor anywhere and you click on insert column, so a new column is going to be inserted. If I keep my cursor over here and I click on insert column, the new column will be inserted onto the right hand side of that particular column. So you decide where you want the new column to come. If I keep my cursor over here and I click on insert columns, so it's going to insert the column over here. I want to delete a particular column. After having inserted, I realize that I don't want this particular column which has been inserted. So keep your cursor anywhere in that column and just click on this red button, delete columns. So there are two buttons over here, delete rows and delete columns. Delete rows will help you to delete the row, and delete columns will help you to delete the column. So if I keep my cursor anywhere on this particular column and I click on delete columns, it's going to delete that particular column for me. If I keep my cursor anywhere on this row and I click on delete rows, this is going to delete the row for me. I keep my cursor over here and I click on delete columns. The column is deleted. So now I have got this particular table with me. You will find that this table, I'm just changing the width of some of the columns and I'm changing the height of some of the rows also. So you will find that this particular table has got height and width of the columns and rows which are not in proper order. For that, you've got a facility over here, optimize. So if you click on this optimize, you will be able to adjust the rows, the width and height of the rows and columns. So when I click on optimize, I've got two buttons over here, optimize row height and optimize column width. I select the entire table. How do I select the entire table? If I take my cursor on to the corner of this table, you will see that the arrow has changed. It has become a pointed arrow, which is black in color. It's not the normal cursor. It has changed to a black color pointed arrow. And I click on this, the entire table gets selected. Now I go to this optimize. With this optimize, I have got two more facilities: distribute columns evenly and distribute rows equally. If I click on distribute columns equally, see the changes which are done. So it has equally distributed the columns over here. All the columns are of the same size. And if I click on this and select distribute rows equally, it is going to distribute the rows equally. So that's about the distribute and organizing the columns and rows. So we have seen how to delete the row. We have seen how to delete the column. We have seen how to insert the rows, how to insert the columns. Now we will look at the facility of placing the text within the cell. You will find that the value is on top. But if you want the value to be somewhere in the middle or at the bottom, you can do that. So you can just change the values, click on this, and then in the table formatting bar itself, you have got three buttons: top, center, and bottom. So if you click on center, this value gets center aligned. I'll select the next one and I click on bottom. You will find that this value is bottom aligned. So you've got top aligned, center aligned, and bottom aligned. In case you want to change the background color of the table, you could just select the entire table. After selecting the table, you have the facility of line style over here. You can select what type of border you want, thickness of the border, whether you want a single line border or double line border. And then you can select the line color. So you can change the color of the line from here. And you can also change the background color for your table. So I'm just changing the background color to say this. So it's quite visible. How do I delete the table? Select this entire table, and if you want to make copies of it, select the table and Control C. That's going to copy the entire table. And if you want to paste it at some other place, just go to that place and press Control V. So before deleting the table, I've just made a copy of it. Now I want to delete the first table. You will see that there are two tables right now having the same content. The first table, I just want to delete it. So I select the first table and I click on, you will find that there is in the menu bar that there is an option called table. Just go to table, and from there you have got an option called delete. Click on delete table. This is going to delete that particular table for you. So this is how you can insert the tables, or you can delete the tables in Writer.